two, three, four. Pow, pow, pow. All right, we're rolling. Freedom Phil out here in the wasteland, survival pod. And what's the topic? The Super Bowl halftime show with Bad Bunny. Honestly, it's another great example of enshittification. It really is. I'm just being honest. When I was doing something else, I'm like, why do I hear a random AM Latino radio station on my TV? And I go and look, I'm like, this is the halftime show? What? Yeah, where am I going with this? Freedom Phil, like, subscribe, and let's get into it. And hey, turn up the video speed. Why do I say that? Because you watch this way faster. And I honestly don't care if I offend people with this opinion. I really don't. Because, look, I expect the America pastime, America sport, basically, they always show you all this, this player was from, like, Memphis, Tennessee, and went and played at this particular university, and so forth and so on. They always show you this kind of pedigree of Americanism, which generally speaks English. And look, I get it. People are like, well, he's from Puerto Rico, which is technically an American territory. Yeah, that doesn't make you really American. I'm sorry, but Puerto Rico is at best what? A fucking place we have a military base. Like when I watch what should be the American pastime and there's a, halftime show, I expect out of all the artists we have all over the country, something that at least remotely connects to most Americans. And here's the thing, if I was in some other country and we were watching like World Cup or any sort of soccer, whatever they watch in those countries, I don't know, basically kick the rat into the trash can, I don't know, second, third world countries. I would be surprised if they were singing in English for, the halftime show. I would expect the halftime show to be in their culture and their language. So why is it with America we do all this virtue signaling? And the answer is, frankly, because in America, there's this attitude that you're a fucking dumb slob and you will never walk away from the people, you're watching. You will never have an opinion that deviates from, I must consume more. I must watch the sports ball, because they think you're stupid. And, they're probably right. I like me some sports ball, but I've seen a lot of people that are really fucking dim-witted. And what they're counting on is the same thing that Hollywood, music, and video games have done. No matter how much we alienate our heritage fan base. Like what happened with Star Wars, where basically Kathleen Kennedy said, fuck all the classic material. We'll just, write up whatever feminist woke shit we think will work. Inclusion, BIPOC nonsense. Like, basically just adding in things just to do check boxes. And they're like, people will still eat this up because it's got this label on it. Well, I don't know if that's the case so much, because there's been a lot of damage over the years. I remember when they got rid of the, the touchdown dance, and I said, well, this is the beginning of the end of the NFL. And then down the road, when the whole, hands up, don't shoot nonsense happened, and what was his name? Kaepernick. That was a serious downside in the NFL. And then now with the whole, let's be honest, with this whole Bad Bunny thing, it's like, come on, like seriously, you had what was otherwise a pretty awesome game. I mean, I only tuned into it because I turned on the news and they're like, oh shit. I was like, the Seahawks are playing? Huh. Let's see if they win. Surprisingly, they did. But you go into this, and I'm outside doing something else during the halftime show, and I kind of seen, I wonder who this Bad Bunny is. And then I start hearing this random Latino radio station. You couldn't think of anybody else to play. And by the way, let me tell you, this is also a small form of propaganda. Right when the whole ICE detention thing is happening, this is when you're doing the Bad Bunny stuff. Wow, who's fucking surprised? And that's get you thinking. A lot of people go and watch sports to get away from this shit. We go to watch sports. We used to go watch movies to get away from a political agenda, religion, or whatever. We just went there to see something that entertained us. That was neutral. It was nice, And now it's like you can just expect everywhere you go, just like with video games, just like with movies, just like with music, that you're going to get some of this wokey agenda shoved into your content. And you know what? Most people will probably they'll just go along to get along. It's the end of the year. They're like, yeah, whatever. If it blows over, then it was kind of annoying. They'll kind of probably relax on it next year. But it's funny because if you understand one of the concepts of how to like get the propaganda into things as far as communism, you turn everything that's a bastion of like something where you can escape from the political message and you shove the political message into it. And I'm just like, I don't need it. And don't think for 1 minute that this wasn't kind of a political message, considering all the nonsense of ICE going on. And, I know a lot of people say, well, the Spanish people really liked it. Okay. I mean, I guess if you're trying to appeal to, Mexico, South America, and some other countries that speak Spanish, I mean, I kind of get the idea of trying to appeal. But I'm going to be honest about this. I'm pretty sure those cultures and countries, they already have a sport that they really love, and it's called soccer. It's their version of football, which honestly, their version of football is more close to the term football for thinking about it. I don't think they're going to really be jumping on board American football. I think it's more of an American thing. And so I bring it back to, I don't know. I just think the halftime show should actually English, motherfucker, as it was said in Pulp Fiction. I'm just saying. Like, if I turn on the halftime show and I hear some singer that sounds American, I expect that. But I mean, okay, what's the next waggity woo ass fucking language? Are we gonna have the Somalian singer next year? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, one more reason not to watch fucking professional sports. I mean, I only half-assed cared about it to begin with, but when I see this type of like wokey agenda shit in it, and I hate using that term, but when I see this kind of woke agenda injected it's interjected into my sports, anybody's sports, I'm just like, no, it's a turnoff. So in the same way, it's a turnoff when I see it in movies, anime, music, video games. Like, I got to be real. It's kind of, these days, buying a brand new video game, I've got to see that game is a banger before I'm going to buy it. Because I can't trust that the people that are making this shit anymore aren't going to fuck it up. And, well, the NFL decided to do that with Bad Bunny. So, peace.